Have you ever wondered why red hair exists? It's one of those rare genetic quirks that make you stop and think, wait, why is this even a thing? With redheads making up a mere 2% of the global population, it's fair to say that their fiery locks are something of an enigma. But why did red hair develop in the first place? And why is it most common in certain regions? Buckle up because we're about to unravel the ginger mystery. The global distribution of red hair, a Celtic legacy. Although red hair is found across the world, it has a strong association with Northern European ancestry, particularly in Celtic nations. Scotland and Ireland, in particular, hold the record for the highest percentage of natural redheads. Estimates vary, but about 6 to 13% of the Scottish population sports red hair, while Ireland claims around 10%. Beyond the British Isles, the Udmurt people of Russia also have a surprisingly high concentration of red hair. Some even argue that they possess the reddest hair in the world. So while Scotland and Ireland might be the poster children for gingers, they're not alone in the red-haired revolution. Redheads and pain sensitivity, superheroes or softies. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Studies suggest that redheads perceive pain differently from everyone else. Some research indicates they are more sensitive to specific types of pain and often require higher doses of painkillers. On the flip side, other studies argue that their overall pain tolerance might actually be higher. It's as if redheads are walking contradictions like superheroes with selective vulnerabilities. If you're a redhead, the next time someone calls you tough, you can smugly nod and say, "Science backs that up." And if they ever claim you're being too dramatic about pain, just remind them that your genes demand 20% more anesthesia than theirs. The genetic science behind red hair. The reason behind red hair lies in a gene called melanocortin-1 receptor, found on chromosome 16. This gene plays a major role in melanin production, the pigment responsible for hair, skin, and eye color. People with red hair produce high amounts of pheomelanin, a yellowish-red pigment, and lower amounts of eumelanin, a darker pigment, which results in their distinctive hair color. Interestingly, this is also why redheads often have freckles and fair skin. It's as if nature decided, if you're going to stand out, you might as well go all the way. The inheritance of red hair, a recessive surprise. Red hair is a recessive trait, meaning both parents must carry the MC1R gene variant for their child to have red hair. What's particularly sneaky about this is that many people carry the gene without knowing it. This leads to red-haired children unexpectedly appearing in families that for generations never had a single ginger in sight. For example, about 40% of Scots carry the gene, but only a fraction of them actually have red hair. So, if you're from Scotland and wondering why your child looks like a young Ron Weasley, blame genetics for its tricky ways. Redheads in history, warriors, kings, and legends. Red hair has been noted throughout history. The ancient Greeks and Romans frequently described the Celts as red-haired warriors, and some historical accounts suggest Germanic tribes had their fair share of fiery-haired fighters too. Even more surprising, some of the famed Tara mummies found in present-day China had red hair. These mummies date back thousands of years, proving that red hair has been a globally occurring trait for longer than we imagined. And for those wondering if red hair is strictly a Homo sapiens thing, think again. Neanderthal remains dating back 50,000 years also show signs of red hair, making our prehistoric cousins part of the Ginger Club too. The origins of red hair, where did it come from? Pinpointing the exact birthplace of red hair is like trying to track down the world's first meme, tricky and debated. But current research suggests that the MC1R gene variant responsible for red hair may have originated in Central Asia tens of thousands of years ago. Estimates place its emergence somewhere between 30,000 and 80,000 years ago, though some daring scientists argue that it could be as old as 100,000 years. Imagine ancient humans rocking fiery locks while hunting mammoths. It's a strangely amusing thought. However, if red hair was floating around for so long, why do we mostly find it in Northern Europe today? That's where things get interesting. Genetic bottlenecks, migrations, and survival advantages played a role in this hair color becoming a Celtic signature. Today, Scotland boasts the highest percentage of natural redheads, with about 13% of its population flaunting auburn or fiery locks, closely followed by Ireland at around 10%. So, if you ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of brunettes and blondes, just take a trip to Edinburgh or Dublin, where redheads are practically a national treasure. Why did red hair evolve? One of the most widely accepted theories suggests that red hair evolved as an adaptation to low sunlight environments, particularly in Northern Europe. Since fair skin is better at synthesizing vitamin D in cloudy conditions, having pale skin often linked with red hair became an evolutionary advantage in places like Scotland and Ireland. But here's the plot twist. Red hair itself doesn't help produce vitamin D. Instead, it's the super light skin that comes with it that does the job. Essentially, if you're a redhead, you might be at an increased risk of sunburn, but at least your body is a vitamin D factory in gloomy weather. Another fascinating twist is that redheads have a slightly different pain threshold compared to other hair colors. Studies suggest that they might be more sensitive to certain types of pain, yet more resistant to others, like a natural paradox wrapped in freckles and sepia 50. So, if you've ever seen a redhead shrug off pain like a medieval warrior, but wince at a paper cut, now you know why. Could it be random genetic luck? Some scientists argue that red hair might just be a genetic accident rather than an evolutionary advantage. If that were true, though, why don't we see an equal number of red-haired people in Africa or South America? It's possible that a combination of natural selection, climate, and genetic drift played a role in red hair being more common in Northern European populations. The red hair stereotypes, fiery tempers, and charm. One of the oldest stereotypes about redheads is that they have fiery tempers. While there's no scientific evidence to support this claim, it might have originated from historical descriptions of red-haired warriors who were often depicted as fierce and passionate. Another interesting aspect of redheads is their perceived uniqueness. Some studies suggest that people with red hair may be more likely to attract attention simply because their hair color is so rare. Whether or not that translates to attractiveness is subjective. But let's be real, redheads do have a certain magnetic charm. Will gingers go extinct? There have been many headlines over the years claiming that redheads will disappear due to genetics. While it's true that red hair is recessive, as long as people carry the MC1R gene and pass it on, redheads will continue to be born. So no, the ginger apocalypse isn't happening anytime soon. And that's the fascinating story behind red hair. Are you a proud redhead? Do you know someone with fiery locks? Or are you just here because you love learning weird and wonderful facts? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into genetics, history, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more amazing content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay awesome.